All right, so it looks like we're live. Welcome back to the Trial and Error podcast. It's Brian and Fearless. Um, this week we're gonna finish up the marketing conversation. I wanted to get a little bit more into the nuts and bolts of it because I did a lot of talking about just writing copy, and that's like a part of it. And so um, we're gonna kind of build it out and kind of show you what it looks like. And Fearless gonna throw, and Fearless go give his spin on some things. I'll give my take on it, and let's have some fun with it. So, if you got marketing questions, drop them in the chat, and we'll try to answer them. So I'll
Yeah,
go ahead and roll the intro, and we'll get into this thing.
indeed.
All right. So welcome back, y'all. My name is Brian. I am a business and marketing coach. A consultant as well. I run a program called the Unstuck Sessions, which is kind of designed to get you moving forward in your business or marketing if you're stuck.
Is it my turn? Am
It's
I
your it's your turn. I need to go and make sure that we're actually public on Facebook because that's something I found out that was a problem. Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay. Fearless Cummings here. I am uh one half of the only half of Ags Fearless. I'm also one half of the Trial and Error Show, which is where you guys are at this present moment in time. I am a life coach and I focus primarily on perspective and reframing your dreams, goals, aspirations, and or problems if you have them. I tell people off top on my show that I come with a warning. The warning is that if you were easily offended, you should swipe left and keep it pushing. Shit.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, man.
So, first things first, for comments, we should be able to see comments, Fearless. If you have it set on yours, have the privacy for this live stream set on your Facebook profile. Make sure it's public.
Yeah, I
Because
think I think my stuff always is, isn't it?
it should be mine
Yeah.
is, but sometimes it will make it to my friends only, and then that's why we don't see comments come through all the time.
Now, yes, usually on mine, I always see them.
Okay.
Um, if 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 we're good to go, like, but I usually see them.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I've been doing this again. It's only been like 12. Today will be 12 days. I'm about to switch out my banner
Uh-huh.
at the bottom. And the one thing that I'm learning more about this is that you cannot see. Like you have to be logged on to um you have to be logged on to all of these other channels that you have in order to watch those things come in. Because unless you're in StreamYard,
Hmm.
you're not gonna know that, hey, go in here, talk to me, this, that, and the other. So that's the one thing that does kind of, I guess, bother me a little. Again, I don't know really if that's I don't know if that is a hill that I'm willing to die on,
Yeah.
but that is kind of annoying when you have to go into Facebook, pull your stuff up, and then that's how you see everything. I would love for them to have something where I can just see it on my screen.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking at yours right now,
Okay.
and it is set to friends only.
For
So
my what?
on your Facebook. So you would have to go to your Facebook page, go to the live stream, and change the privacy to public. That's
Okay,
why.
hold on.
Yep.
Hold on. But yeah, okay, so
And while you're doing that, I can kind of run down a little bit of what we got planned and what we did last week.
okay, so okay, so how do I do this?
So open up your Facebook
I'm there.
and go to where the live stream is, and
I'm
you
there.
should see like at the top, you should see privacy settings.
Hold on. No.
And I might have to do a quick.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. I got edit privacy.
Yes, edit privacy, make it public. and then we should start seeing the comments populate.
Oh shit. Oh wow. So is that why it only shows? So is that how it is? Like even when I'm doing my lives,
Yep.
so it was only showing my friends, and that's it.
Yep.
It's not showing anything or anyone else.
Nope. It's not showing anybody outside of your friend
Oh
group.
man, that sucks.
Well, but here's the thing though. And so this is a plug for As Fearless. Fearless is doing he's kind of doing a marathon for 100 days. He's going live at 8:30 and answering questions and things for the Ask Fearless channel. And it's a lot of really good information. It's a lot of good insights. And so it benefits you to tune in and you can ask Fearless questions about life and small talk about what the topics are and stuff. But it's kind of Fearless is getting his reps in with this live streaming thing, and it's really and he's really becoming proficient at it, and he's also building a library of content with it. And that's a marketing concept, yo. Like
that's yes. And I'm doing that literally because it's a conversation that you and I have had with thank you, John. I love you, little brother. But that's one of the things that we're going to be doing, like tonight, for instance. Our objective is like tonight is episode 12, and tonight we're going to discuss how the 10 problems that money cannot solve.
Okay.
The 10 problems that money. Oh shit, I am seeing my little brother send John, send something else.
I put that on there so I can add comments to the feed as they come in.
How do I do that with my stuff?
It should. So do you see it on your screen where you see where you see?
Hold on.
On your StreamYard.
Hold on one second. Still, I'm just gonna put my stuff. I'm just gonna put my stuff right. I'm just gonna put my stuff right there. Look at what I'm writing. Look at what I wrote. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see.
Boom.
Oh shit! No. I was trying to put it on my my other. Oh my gosh, bro, that's what I need to see. How do I see that on my stuff?
So it should be on your StreamYard dashboard. Like there's a little like right next to it. You see the little side menu where it says comments, banners, media assets, and all that.
Yes.
So click on comments, and it should show you the comments.
I don't see comments. Comments. There it is. What the shit fuck? What? That's where it's been the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I am. And then you tried to send me to that other place. And like, hey man, check this one out. This is why I told you no. Because I'm like, no, I want to get to know this one first.
Okay.
And then once I knock out my 100 episodes, then I'll start learning something else.
Okay.
But I think that one of the biggest problems is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that one of the biggest problems that we have is that we do not stick with something long enough to learn it before we move on to other stuff.
Right. And that could be it, because the thing is, for me, I've been using StreamYard for like 4 or 5 years. And so I move a lot faster because I'm like testing out other platforms.
Right.
But Fearless, this is still new to you. And
so very new to me. New to me.
And so I tried to progress you a little bit too fast because I'm testing out other live streaming services and things like that. Testing out OBS, I
don't know what that means. What does that mean?
OBS is basically a free application you put on your computer. It requires a lot more setup, but it's a lot more powerful, and you can do a lot more customizations, do transitions, and all kinds of other fancy stuff on it. And so I've been using that. I've been playing around with Meld Studio, which is kind of a fork of OBS. And one of the podcasts I produce, they are actually using Riverside to record their stuff.
Riverside?
Yeah, Riverside FM. And I've been kind of learning that one just because I need to know how to utilize it so that I can step my game up in terms of producing that podcast. And so, But yeah, that's what and that's really what it is. And Fearless, I already know the platform, and so I was trying to move you faster than you were ready to go. But yeah,
Right.
I
But
mean,
I'm a cow. But here's the thing, though. The thing that I love about trial and error, in general, is literally because I take this everywhere that I go. Right. So, oh man, I'm trying to. I done messed up our banner thing. I'm trying to go into that. You know where it says like the host. Your thing says host of the unstuck sessions. I'm trying to check my day 11 out of that. You see what I'm saying? Where it says Act Fearless and then day
yep.
11 of 100. How do I go in there and change that out? Because
If you
that's what
go,
I was trying to do.
so if you go to at the bottom, you see where we are at the bottom, where we have the two separate screens
Yeah.
representing us. If you click the little three dots,
Okay,
there's
never mind. I got it. It's right
there's
there.
edit name
Okay.
and headline. All right.
Okay. Sorry about that, man.
All right. So just to catch y'all up, last week I went into the Life Force 8, and it was basically Life Force 8 is the 8 things that you need to hit when you're doing your marketing, the 8 core drives that every human being has, so that you can tailor your marketing towards it. And it's based on a book called Cashvertising by Eric Drew Whitman. And that book really taught me the basics of copywriting. Copywriting, if you don't know, is writing words that sell. My business is called I Sell Words. And so copywriting is writing landing pages, writing social media posts, writing ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, the whole thing. And those are words that are supposed to sell products or services. And so I went down the entire Life Force 8, ran it all the way down, and then there was 9 other drives that aren't core to your human being, but they're drives that you learn as you grow through life. And so I wanted to do that to kind of give you a little bit of groundwork about what my specialty is in the marketing field. But I ran out of time because there's other stuff regarding marketing that we need to touch on. And so this conversation, I want to talk about if I had to start over and build a marketing system for a business from scratch. I wanted to talk about that because I think that might benefit y'all a little bit more. And so that's kind of what I wanted to do.
Okay, so here's the thing. In that, so we're one of the things that you just said was, I want to create or show you if I had to start over, if to start over from scratch, and how do I market this? Here's the thing. You can't market nothing. So you have to have some type of business, some type of service, something that you're offering a person before you market it.
You just listed step 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Because I'm just saying, like, there's a lady that I coach on Ags Fearless at 8:30 at night. Bang that said, I can use this information for my music. Oh, he said, can I use this information for my music?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, bang that. You better get your ass on here, my guy. You better get your ass on here. Listen, my guy here, he just posted a picture with him in California at Adam 22 studio at No Jumper. So hopefully my man has some type of interview coming, representing the right way. Mr. Bud Crawford obviously does a very good job representing Omaha. Mr. Warren Buffett does an okay job representing Omaha. And I don't know if you know this other guy by the name of Fearless Coming Sweet Baby Moses. Does an amazing job repping the O. And if you ask Fearless, if you say, hey, sir, what is the capital of Nebraska? I'm going to say Omaha all day long. I'm going to say Omaha all day long. Sir, for $15 million, tax-free, what is the capital of Nebraska? It's Lincoln, sir. It's Lincoln. See how quick I'm gonna change that shit up?
Yep.
Boy, you trying to give me some? Yes, I will say Lincoln. I talk shit about Lincoln, but I mean, Lincoln's they are our baby sister. Don't act like that. That's our baby sister. But yes, Bang that you can use this. You can use this for music. And Mr. Brian Hill,
Yep.
Mr. Brian, he's going to lay out the foundation of how that works.
All right. So, yeah, absolutely. And this is information we want you to utilize this and then tell us if it worked for you. Because that's the only way we're going to learn to adapt our processes so we can make it more valuable, make the information more valuable to you.
Heyo.
So Fearless kind of jumped ahead and gave us the first step. You have to find a market for the product. One of the things I tell people is ideas are great. Ideas are sexy. They're wonderful. Every idea is a bad idea until you test the idea.
Hey, man, dude, we need to be, man, that is too good. Here, can I write that somewhere?
Absolutely.
Where can I write that so people can write this stuff down, take notes, because that is deep. And I need you to say that again, kind sir.
Every idea is a bad idea until the idea is tested.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Every idea, comma, is a bad idea, comma, until the idea is tested. Oh, wait. Oh my God, you nasty for that.
So, and so why I say that is a lot of times we come up with these wonderful ideas and these wonderful products and these wonderful services that are going to change the game and change people's lives, but we don't have anybody to sell it to. And we haven't spent any time sitting there thinking about, okay, so who is the market for this thing? Who's going to buy this thing? And that's the most important part, because I can tell you, I co-own a basketball training business. We come up with dozens of ideas for services a week, but once we sit down and kind of flesh it out, we say, okay, we're already doing the service. This is a duplication of services. Maybe we can actually take these things that we came up with and merge them into the existing services and make that offering better and charge a little bit more for it. And so we sit down and kind of evaluate who is going to buy this thing. And that's the most important step. A lot of people don't spend enough time in the who stage and they go to the what, and it moves too fast. So first things first, you got to do your homework. You got to do your research on your market. Now, how do you do that? There's a couple of things out there that people don't really think about. And I'm going to reframe a couple of tools that everybody kind of uses on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Everybody's familiar with the term search engine, right? Google is a search engine. You put it in there and it searches for stuff, right? It finds products, it answers questions, gives you resources to answer your own questions, right? Here's a couple of items. Here's a couple of things. Amazon is a search engine for products. YouTube is a search engine for videos, but think of it like this: a search engine for concepts. It's a search engine for ideas. It's a search engine for solutions. All these social media platforms that we use are search engines in and of themselves. You just got to be able to dig a little bit deeper and find where your audiences are. And so for us specifically, we're in the sports training niche, however you want to say it.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
And so in order to learn about our clients, we need to be present where our clients are. So being involved in basketball groups, in basketball parenting groups, being involved in trainer groups, interacting with trainers, interacting with coaches, being in athletic coach groups. These things are our market. And by being in those places, we can hear insights and hear questions from them. And then that kind of comes back and informs how our products solve problems. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it is.
So
I mean, but yeah, because that's what those test groups are for. Is that once you put your stuff out there, they kind of go through, they look at it, use it.
mhm,
Hey, do you like it, or what is it for, right? So I mean, I know that even with they had a certain heart pill that they were actually testing on people in jails,
mhm.
mainly prisons, and then they started to see, well, yeah, it is a heart pill, and those gentlemen in jail all got erections, and they all got them, and like, oh wow, well, this pill is good for boners,
Yep.
which now we know of as Viagra. So again, but you're not going to know that until you test it out. And it's unfortunately, you have to test out a boner pill while people are in jail. Good luck with that.
So the thing is though, other side is you're going to see what people are complaining about. So
Mm,
if you go to Facebook groups about the specific thing that you're selling, you get a wealth of complaints about what they don't like about the specific product or what
mm,
they don't like about the specific service. If you go to your competitors reviews page, you can see what people like about their service, what they don't like about their service. um, Amazon reviews, if you're straight up selling products, that's a great place to go. Find the products that are already being sold on that platform and then go to the reviews and see what are people complaining about or what do they love about the product, and you can add that into the iterations of your product. Um,
mm.
if you're testing out ideas, you go to TikTok or YouTube and go through the comments. Now you sort out the BS, the bullshit comments um, from people, because there's always going to be negative people that just pop up on some of these social media platforms to say negative stuff. You sort through those, but you can find the real criticisms of maybe his presentation, maybe people don't like the concept that's being discussed. You can find out what people's real reaction is to this stuff. um Hell, you can even go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a wealth of information from professionals. If your product is more geared towards working professionals, or if your service is geared towards working professionals. And LinkedIn is good because it kind of lets you sort things by industry and see who's in what field, and then you get to read their thoughts, get to read things that they post, and also things that they comment. So there's a lot of information out there. It's just getting out there and doing the groundwork to find your market and find out what are people talking about, what do they want, and what problems do they have. And at the end of the
Mm.
day, if you're selling a product or service, um, to me, I think the unifying theme is people buy a product or service because they have an itch that needs to be scratched, whether it's a big, huge, hairy problem that they need to solve, or it's just one of those sexy things that they want. And so if you go and utilize the stuff that's free on social media and actually spend time in the comment sections or spend time in these private or semi-public Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups or whatever, you can figure out who's talking about what, and that will inform what your marketing is. Because then you'll also know where your audience is. And that's another important thing. Knowing where they are.
Right.
Dude, some people only I know some people only mess with Instagram. They ain't on Facebook like that.
Hmm.
There are hardcore TikTokers out there. There are people that most of their posting, most of their social media activity is restricted to Reddit or LinkedIn. You got to find where your audience is.
So here's the thing, though. Wouldn't your audience technically be everywhere? I mean, it's just kind of based on not necessarily what you're talking about, because I think that for myself, if I'm a life coach and trainer, I am on. Uh, I mean, will you find other life coaches on TikTok? Probably so,
Mhm,
but is that really where I would actually find somebody that I would want to coach like myself?
mhm,
I don't really think that I would. For me, I guess that would be more like a younger demographic of people that I would actually kind of give advice to, or kind of coach or mentor on there. But then if I were to go to LinkedIn, that would be more or less my place for the most part. If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
right? I don't really know what I would have to give. Well, I guess I do know what I have to give to the younger generation. Um, but again, I mean, is that where I would go? How does that work?
So, and this is a mindset shift thing, okay?
Mm,
Because you're shifting from being a consumer of these social media products to being an actual user or somebody that's selling a product on these social. So basically, you go from consuming it to actually being the producer who exists on these social media platforms. And I'm saying that to say this, you can build your audience wherever you want to if they're present
mm,
on there. And so I always suggest pick a social media platform that you're familiar with and absolutely put a lot of your attention there, but also start kind of playing around and learning adjacent social media platforms. Now, for me, I don't understand Snapchat. It doesn't work with how my brain is set up. And so I'll play around on it, but I don't know if it's a tool that I can actually utilize because I'm not proficient enough in it, and I don't have the interest in investing time and learning it unless something pops up and says, "Okay, we're getting a bunch of clients from there. We need to learn how to get good at it." Um, but you can cultivate your audience anywhere, and
mm.
eventually your audience will find you with enough repetition, with enough clarity of purpose and clarity of message on TikTok, your follower, that your audience, your ideal audience will find you if you're clear on your messaging. On Facebook, your audience will find you if you're clear on your messaging. And so it can happen wherever you want it to happen. Um, so I I say master one or two social media platforms and learn the adjacent ones and learn the skills of building an audience. Because once you know the skills of building an audience, you can take it anywhere. But I get what you're saying, Fearless.
Mm.
Because there are there's specific demographics that play out, like, right. Facebook trends a little bit older, and Facebook isn't really conducive. I'm throwing out big words here, sorry. Facebook isn't really aligned with interruption based marketing, which means commercials. People
Hmm.
scroll past them.
Right.
Um, YouTube, people are more used to seeing commercials in stream. And so when you put your offer out there, um, people they may try to skip it or they may sit down and listen to it, but they're more used to seeing commercials and being interrupted while they're watching stuff.
I'm not.
Facebook, not so much.
I'm not. I pay for the paid version, so I don't see any of them. I've not seen a commercial on YouTube in years.
I haven't either,
Years. I pay for that, so I don't have to see it.
but I still do put a pitch and a call to action on my stuff. So when I do like a YouTube video, if I want people to reach out to me for something, I still put a call to action in there and say, this is a service we provide. If you're interested, hit us up. Link is in the description. So YouTube people are more aligned with seeing commercials. And Facebook, they're not really engaged in the interruption based marketing. TikTok is actually leaning a little bit more towards both. I've seen more that are straight up ads on TikTok, and I think people, um, and I'll throw out a campaign that kind of validates my point. Um, TikTok people are kind of in line with commercials if they're entertaining, and um, was a couple years ago. Remember the commercial with the guy drinking ocean spray and riding the skateboard?
Mm.
All right. Well, there was Ocean Spray did a commercial with this guy in Cali, and he's kind of just out and about, sipping his Ocean Spray and riding on his skateboard. And that commercial sold out Ocean Spray around the country. That commercial did. And it really wasn't even a commercial for the ad. It wasn't a commercial for the product. It was just the product being in the commercial, if that makes sense. They weren't making any kind of pitch, no call to action or anything. And I'll see if I can pull it up here. But the Ocean Spray commercial, all it did was just show the product and this man enjoying it. And on TikTok, that commercial went viral. And Ocean Spray was selling out across the country. There's another one out there. I think it was some kind of Walgreens. You know how Walgreens has the Nice brand, where that's kind of their in-store brand. They had this pillable mango candy, and somebody did a TikTok on it, and it sold out that candy to the point where Walgreens was limiting how many you could buy because people were buying a bunch of them to resell them on eBay. A lot of money. So TikTok is a little bit more aligned with commercials or pitches and stuff like that. And so it has a little bit more interruption based marketing. Facebook, not so much. Twitter, people will block you for being a commercial on Twitter. And so you got to really be careful. Even before all this Twitter controversy came out and stuff like that, in 2017, I was telling my clients, I was steering my clients away from Twitter. Just because ads on Twitter only work for like authors or artists and stuff like that. It's not great for products or services. So, and the temperature's kind of changed on Twitter. So it's not even great for artists as much. But knowing the characteristics of the platform you're posting on is important. Now, can you post commercials on? Can you run commercials on Facebook? Yeah, I'm paying for an ad right now on Facebook for one of my products, and we're getting calls about it. So it's not like this hard and fast rule that you can never run ads on Facebook. It's just knowing the characteristics of the audience and also knowing how to target your ad so that the ad hits the right subgroup or subsect of people and not just shotgun blasting it out there for everybody. I said a whole lot. I'm gonna go pull up this commercial, this Ocean Spray commercial, Fearless, if you want to kind of give your opinion on that.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Today, as you can see, where my little thing says, today I'm the learning guru.
Okay.
Today I and again, even though my show, I tell people like, man, like my objective is not to know everything. And if you ask me a question, if I know it, I got you. But if I don't, let's go figure it out together. Okay. Right. So I don't know. And it's just like I told you before, I'm okay riding coach. I'm okay sitting in the passenger seat while somebody else takes over and drives. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind passenger or backseat drive, like backseat riding, not backseat driving. Okay. Because you have a set of skills, like Liam Neeson. I have a set of skills, right? That I don't have. Like a lot of this stuff I don't know. Majority of the clients that I receive from my coaching business is usually through word of mouth. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Or referral. Somebody referred this person to me. And now with all the videos or the mini videos that I have, which is 12, 13, plus the ones that we do. So I have all these videos now on there. So now you have about almost 20 hours worth of stuff that you can see the type of coaching that I provide, the type of stuff that I talk about, my personality, all that stuff. So then you're going to know whether or not I'm your guy or not. Okay. You're going to know that. So, but what you're talking about right now, I don't know about this. Okay. I have no idea. So I'm going to shut my mouth and I'm going to listen. Okay. And I'm going to ask questions, obviously.
That's what I want.
So the one thing that you did say that I really like and I appreciate, and I think that if you could talk about this a little bit more, one of the things that you said was, here, let's watch this, and then, okay, because I got the question written down.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna mute it because it has some Fleetwood Mac underneath it, and I don't want to get copyright on that. But you guys have seen the commercial, and this is basically what it was. This is all it is. Now imagine Fleetwood Mac music playing underneath it. This guy's just skateboarding, vibing out, drinking his Ocean Spray. So this video,
that's beautiful though, man. I love that.
Yeah, And it's not a hardcore pitch to the product. It's not
No,
talking about how great it is. It's somebody enjoying life and drinking Ocean Spray.
that's
This is
it.
this is
Two
their
simple
biggest
things. I like that.
this is their biggest commercial of all time. And it's not interruption based. It's pleasant to watch. The only reason you guys aren't hearing the sound is because I know how YouTube be when it comes to music. So, but yeah, it's a simple concept. And like I said, dude's just vibing out, drinking Ocean Spray. And I think this video, yes, Dogface. This is him. This is him. Dogface is the guy in the video. This video has
Is that
20
his
million.
name?
Yeah. This video has 20 million views.
Oh, nice.
And it sold out Ocean Spray all over the country. It did more than any ad Ocean Spray's ever done.
I'm sure it does. Dude, listen. I think that two ants fucking in some bushes would do better than anything that they have going or have had going in general. And here's the thing. I love Ocean Spray, but they're not really one of those things that I think about where I'm like, oh my gosh, hey, it's Ocean Spray. Man, let me run to the store. Number one, I got type 2 diabetes, so I'm off that shit.
Yep.
But when I did not have it, I still wasn't really running to the store. But if I would have seen a commercial like that, I may have gotten my fat ass up, went to the store, picked up some, went back home, and thought, hey, maybe I should get on the skateboard and go down 75. See how that works for me. I can almost assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that it will not work that well for me. So, but yeah, I get that. So the one question that I did have for you was the link. Hold on, that was a link. The complaints. I like what you said about that. You said that when you're when you have a business or you're starting one, go in and before you start marketing your stuff, go in and start reading the complaints
Mm-hmm.
that people have about said product or industry in general. I like that. Could you touch on that a little bit more, please?
So by going in and seeing the problems that people experience with the product or service, you can figure out how your product or service can solve that problem. And you can actually capture that segment of people because it just makes your product better. You're learning, you're learning from trial and error, you're learning from somebody else's mistake. And it only makes your product better. A lot of times we get caught up in we have to copycat exactly what's successful instead of looking at what's successful, using that as a framework, and then going and figuring out what the flaws are in that successful thing and improving on the flaws. And, that's what it is. I mean, a lot of times it doesn't necessarily mean you need to build a better mousetrap, but the only way you build a better mousetrap is figuring out what people don't like about the current mousetrap.
Mm.
I got an example. It comes from a book from Rick Cesari called Buy Now. And Rick Cesari is kind of a guru in the marketing space. He is the one that basically created the infomercial as a concept. And so he is tied to the Juice Man Juicer and the George Foreman grill campaigns and the Sonic Care toothbrush and all these other products that you see out there. And people don't know the George Foreman grill, rest in peace, George Foreman, rest in peace, Big George. But the George Foreman grill started out as a taco maker, and that's been on the market since the 70s.
Okay, run that by me again.
The George Foreman grill started out as a taco maker.
How do you make tacos on that?
Okay, so you just you asked the real question. The reason why they weren't able to sell it the way that they were able to sell it is because people were like, I mean, it's kind of like a quesadilla maker, but not really.
Yeah.
And they were calling it a taco maker, and it really didn't make tacos in the sense that a lot of people knew that in America, as we understand them. And so it was having a difficult time finding its market. But when they said, hey, you can put burgers, steaks, sausages, you can grill stuff in here, and basically all it is just two hot plates
put together.
You can cook all kinds of stuff on here. When they opened it up and showed all the different uses for it and said, yeah, the problem of solving tacos, that really wasn't the problem that it was solving.
No.
The problem it was solving is, how do I cook this stuff fast? And they showed how they could use it to solve a different set of problems, and it blew up. It exploded. And by using George Foreman was kind of the perfect balance of, he's a pro athlete. And so men at the time, former heavyweight, actually current heavyweight, because I think he won the belt again in 1993 or 94. But he also was a really likable dude. And he, kids were kind of drawn to him. Women were drawn to him because he was just this nice kind of teddy bearish looking guy. And so they rebranded this product that had been on the market for decades at that point, and gave it and pointed it at a new set of problems. And by pointing it at a new set of problems, they found a worldwide market for it, where the George Foreman grill is still doing numbers. People are still. My son won a George Foreman grill at a raffle, and he was happy. That was the happiest I've ever seen him, because he's like, I could. He had unlocked the secret of making the grilled cheese the way that he wanted to make grilled cheese sandwiches. And so, but a lot of times it is finding that right set of problems that you can solve. But by going in and actually finding out what people are complaining about, you can find the solution. People weren't complaining about making their tacos, bro. But people were complaining about how long it takes to cook a burger or a steak. And so they solved this different set of problems. That's what I'm saying. By going in there and finding out what people don't like about a product or service, you can iterate it. I can tell you for a fact, with the basketball training business I built, we constantly hear parents' complaints about other programs. And the reason why we have the stickiness and client retention is we don't present a lot of the same problems that some of the bigger businesses have when it comes to this. And we've structured our services in a way so that we are addressing the complaints that people have come to us about from other providers that are in our space.
So let me ask you, with that, what have you heard or what have you read about your business that wasn't good, that you said, oh, this is what's being said about us, we need to switch this up? Or when is it that a complaint, somebody says something and you're like, okay, sorry, I mean, we're still going to keep doing this?
So the way we kind of filter it is, we sit down and we take all complaints seriously at first, and we start unpacking it and say, okay, is there a problem in our implementation? Did we fumble it at different steps? Was there a fumble in the onboarding process? Was there a fumble in the customer relation side of things, making sure that we're keeping our touch points? Or was there some kind of disconnect between our program expectations and what the parents were willing to do? If there's accountability on our part, we apologize for it and try to make it right. But we also have the ability to say, okay, well, here's the thing. You're mad because you brought your kid in and they didn't level up through our training, but you only came, like, we have 2 sessions a week. You came to 1 per month. And so for our program, the best practice is you show up to a minimum of 2, and there are other adjacent programming that you have access to too. If you don't take advantage of that, you're not going to see the outcomes. Our top level of outcome is kids that are playing college ball and are prospects for NBA teams. That's the top level outcome of our service. And we know the kind of work that they put in to get to that level. And so if your kid isn't matching that same energy, you can't expect them to get better. And so it's a balance. Sometimes complaints are kind of BS. If somebody's sitting there complaining, well, your price is too high. Well, is the price too high, or is it more than you wanted to pay? And if it's more than you wanted to pay, then why'd you pay for it? But if you feel like the price is too high because we didn't deliver on the things that we promised that we were going to deliver on, then that's our accountability. And we got to get better at our delivery side of things. So it's a double-edged sword. All criticism, I know that the thing is the customer is always right. that's not necessarily true. Buyers can be liars.
I'm
And
gonna write that down. Buyers can be liars.
and people pay for services or buy products that they said they won't buy all the time. You know, people go
I
out and
have. I
yeah,
have.
and the true answer is what somebody's going to spend their money on. So if they're going to spend that, like people come to us and will complain loudly about this organization or that organization when it comes to basketball or whatnot, and we don't sit there and ruminate with them about how terrible this organization is or that organization. That's not our energy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we a lot of times we'll tell people, hey, they're doing this over here. This might be more aligned with your expectations. So we have no problem with pushing people towards services that might match what their expectations are.
Gotcha.
But people come to us and complain about stuff all the time, complain about other programs all the time. But as soon as there's an opening in that program, they're running for it.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, because of the name association, the name brand that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they see us as Flavor Aid and the other place is Kool-Aid. You know, for the folks that know, we are the Kool-Aid, but for a lot of people, we're the flavored fruit circles instead of the Fruit Loops. And people sprint towards that name brand, name recognition thing. So
Okay.
we know that buyers can be liars because they'll sit there and complain loudly about it, but the instant they have an opportunity to get over there, they sprint to it.
That
And a
is
lot of times
straightforward. Okay.
it's a sour grapes kind of thing. And understand this: there's always going to be people that prefer brand name stuff.
Yeah,
And
sure.
and even us, I'm not a brand name person in most cases, but I'll tell you this, when it comes to my camera gear and the cameras I use for professional shoots, I use Sony's
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in the Sony system. I have Sony lenses, I have Sony equipment, have Sony's speed boosters and stuff on my camera.
Gotcha.
I'm in their ecosystem, and that's just what it is. But a lot of times people will gravitate towards brand names, and it's not a knock on you as the smaller person or as the smaller business or smaller product. It's just the fact that you're chasing the wrong clients. You're chasing clients that are aligned with brand names. Sometimes it's not a price problem. You're chasing clients that are price sensitive, and you don't need to chase clients that are price sensitive. You need to chase clients that can afford your services without blinking. So,
And I think that right now, it's so funny because I think you and I have discussed that on multiple different times in general. One of the things that I tell people that I've told you before personally when we have our personal talks is that I don't like. Here's the thing. Funny enough, I do not like talking about money.
Mhm.
I don't. And like we both know what I do. We both know, that I make more money than most Americans do. Even in a two parent household, two income household, I still make more than them.
right.
And again, I'm not saying that to be a braggart. I'm just saying that I do. It's a fact. But the one thing that I've told you before, I don't like worrying about money. I don't like talking about money. Tonight, like I said, shameless plug on Ask Fearless, we're going to be talking about we're going to be coaching, training, and doing question Q&A on 10 problems that money cannot solve. So that's how much I like not talking about money. But because of that, I told you before, I make sure that my price is so high that when we're talking, I tell you what the price is before we even get 2-3 words out. Because as long as you already know what it is, then we could talk about what I could possibly help do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So because when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't want to talk about money. I don't want the whole conversation to be you and I bickering about a dollar amount. I would rather you and I talk about how can I help you, or how can a colleague of mine help you, or maybe I can help you find somebody else that is right for you, because
Right.
this right here probably won't work, right? That's what I want to be concerned with. That's what I want to talk about. So if I'm talking to another coach, and we're talking about, because this has happened, they'll talk about North Omaha, for instance, and this was like when I first became a coach.
Hmm.
Um, all my certification, all my schooling, all this and the other, only for this lady to tell me that why are you uh why are you marketing your services to this particular part of Omaha? There's no money over there. And I'm like, what? I'm
Hmm.
seeing Lexus, Cadillac, Audi, Maserati. Like, what are you talking about? There's money all around here. And here's the thing. That's the reason why I would tell a person how much I charge at the beginning.
Hmm.
So I can just focus on the value that I'm going to bring. That's it.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, that's why we're doing all these videos. Hold on. Okay, I'll call you guys back. That's the reason why we're doing all of these videos and stuff now. I'm not just doing it because I want you to see my beautiful face or hear my very white voice. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it so this is my calling card,
Hmm.
right? This is one of those things that when I'm not around you or I don't have to be right in front of you, you can hit a button and this will consistently keep playing out. So
Yep.
if I said something, you can rewind it, go back, and if you see me or you call me or you email me or you contacted me in some way, you can question me based on this over here. Now, if you know that I charge quite a bit, but right now I'm not charging anything because I'm doing the 100 days of free coaching, free training, free Q&A. Come on, dude.
Get it while
Listen,
it's free. Get it
listen
while
to
it's
what I
free.
just said to you.
Hmm.
Free coaching, free training, free Q&A. Most coaches usually do that shit once a month.
Right.
I'm doing it every day. A brand new, different, um, a new, different training, damn near every day. That is almost unheard of. To talk about something new consistently because there's so many different modules, there's
Right.
so many different tools, techniques, strategies, systems in place, and we're going to go through every one of them. And here's the cool thing: we're not just going to go through 'em. I'm not giving you some and be like, I'm going to save the rest for later. Fuck that. I'm giving you all of it. I'm not leaving anything on the table. I'm
Right.
past I'm like, I'm not leaving anything within myself. I'm giving it all to you every single day. Every day. All you got to do is come with your dreams, goals, aspirations, problems. Bring them. Let's deal with it. So, from my standpoint, that's what I'm bringing to the table, and that's why I don't like thinking about or talking about the money aspect, because I want to give you so much value. We don't need to talk about that. Go ahead, my guy.
So one of the concepts I wanted to mention is, and put this kind of in your ear, reassuringly expensive. I heard Ty Turner from Flash Films Academy talk about that. He teaches people how to make money as videographers and photographers, and he said you want to be reassuringly expensive, and that kind of ties into the happy hour.
Could you explain what that means, please? Hold
Um,
on. Hold on before you do that. I need to get on my pen and paper because I can't just sit there and tell y'all. And here's another thing too. Now we need to be telling people.
mhm.
Y'all gotta be writing this shit down. Like seriously, get your get your pen and pads, get your pencils, get your phones, and like please y'all write this stuff down. Like what do you expect from it? Write it down. All right, what did you say? So reassuringly.
Reassuringly expensive. And so the idea behind that is, you want to set your price point and this is something I learned through the basketball business that I've been working on applying towards my own services. But you want to set your price point at a price point that's high enough where people don't think you're a discount service, because being a discount service is a slow death. Um, it really is, and it's a race to the bottom, because you're going to attract people that only want to pay for a discount, and they'll sit there and try to Groupon you to death or haggle you to death. And so
Oh man.
you want to be here's the thing, because your price kind of conveys how competent you are in your services, or how confident you are in your services. And if your price is high, people are reassured that this person knows what they're doing. But if your price is low, then they assume that you're brand new. And when you're brand new, they will find flaws in your delivery of services that they wouldn't find if your price was high. They wouldn't find the flaws if your price was high. But since your price is low, we're going to nitpick this to death. We're going to nitpick that to death. And so you want to be reassuringly expensive in your pricing, so that you're not priced at a relative discount to the market. You actually want to be at a premium to the market. You want to be charging more than the average. And sometimes, depending on what your segment is, you want to be the highest price offer in the segment. No matter no matter what size you are, if your product or service is good, you want to be charging more than the people around you, because you're sending the message that your time, your service, your product is actually worth more than the guys sitting next to you. So that's what the concept of the reassuringly expensive price point means, is where somebody pays it and they're reassured that you are a professional in doing what you're doing, or that the product is high quality. And people will spend premium on products that, like, not to throw one car company under the bus or the other one, but people pay a premium for BMWs, and a lot of their components are plastic crap. Like, they're not great components.
Dude, I have a Tesla. I know.
And so people pay a premium for it because of the name and name alone, and they're willing to ignore the fact that the BMWs burn oil early into their life cycle, and a lot of times that has to do with the fact that everything in them is plastic and it corrodes really fast. And so, but people pay a premium for it. So, and it's tied to the name, and they overlook the flaws with the vehicle. I'm not wired to do that, but they overlook the flaws of the vehicle because it costs. So they paid so much for it. So that's the concept behind it. There's one point I did want to spin the block back to, about basically selling a solution to the problem, right? And the metaphor I've heard is, say you have a picture that you need to hang in your house, right? And you don't really want to use nails. Like, you decide, I want a hole in the wall, and I want to go buy a drill to put that hole in the wall. You got something that needs a screw to actually be hung. And so when you go to Home Depot, you buy your drill and your drill bit, you bring it home, you drill the hole and hang whatever you need to hang. When you go to Home Depot, you're not buying a drill. You're buying a hole in the wall. But you're not really buying a hole in the wall. You're buying the ability to customize your house in the way that you like it, so that you enjoy your living space more. That's how you decide. That's how you, as a marketer of your own business, because every good business owner is a marketer of their own business. That's how you define your services. So you're not they're not buying a drill. They're buying something that makes their home more comfortable and makes it customized for how they want to live. You think about your services like that. So when they come to Coach Mo Athletics, they're not buying basketball training. They're buying an opportunity to make the team. They're buying an opportunity to maybe be good enough to get a college scholarship and get their school paid for. When somebody gets life coaching from Fearless, they're not buying life coaching. They're buying a transformation. They're buying, we talk about it, the negative tension the difference between where your life is and where you want it to be. They're buying where they want their life to be. So they're not buying life coaching, they're buying a transformation into the person they want to be.
Yes. Yep. That's all it is.
And that's what you're selling. But a lot of times businesses don't sell on that. They sell the drill. You know, they don't sell what the drill can do or why somebody will buy the drill. They sell the drill. You know, a lot of times restaurants, they're not, you know, they sell the burger or they sell the steak instead of selling the experience of going out and getting the burger and shake and steak. And so that's the way we reframe our products or services. If you're selling music, you're selling entertainment, you're selling the feeling that the listener has when they're listening to it. What happens in them when they listen to your art? What's happening internally when they listen to your art? That's what you're selling on. And so when we reframe the way we think about how we sell our products or services, and we're basically we're taking ourselves out of it and focusing on the wants and needs and desires of the person that's buying it, then it's easier to get our value out of it. It's easy to ask for the money that we deserve. That's what I'm saying.
No, I totally get it. I'm with that. Now keep going, please.
So, and that's the thing. Like I said, and I do have to step back a little bit because when I'm talking about marketing, we think about advertising when I'm talking about marketing. We think about ads when I talk about marketing, you know, or promotions or flyers or billboards or social media posts. All those things are tools within the marketing toolkit. Marketing is the art of finding a market for a product or service or a personal brand. I want to throw a personal brand in there. And so it's the art of finding the people that will pay for the personal brand or product or service. And a lot of the times when you are in the business owner capacity, the thing that you have to do is see yourself as a marketer of the product or service that you're selling, as opposed to marketing being a separate task. It needs to be everything you do. Fearless and I talked about it last week. If you own a brick and mortar store, marketing is how your staff greets people when they come in the door. That's marketing. Marketing is what they're wearing what your staff is wearing when they come in the door. It's how organized the shelving is. It's the music that's playing. That's all goes into your marketing. It all goes into the experience that people have when they come and engage and purchase a product or service from you. And so we put marketing in this little tiny box where really it's the thing that makes the business function and provides it the cash flow so they can continue to grow and expand. So that's my soapbox for the marketing side of things. So we talked about building the offer last week. I don't want to go into it as much. And I did talk around what we need to sell on. We need to sell on the solution and not the problem as much. What solution is created? What solution are we selling? You know, the solution solves the problem. So we need to sell the transformation, sell the solution. You know, if you're selling fitness and personal training stuff, you're not selling the workout because the workout sucks. A lot of times people don't like working out. I like working out, but a lot of people don't like working out. So what you're selling is the fact that they can fit into their clothes, or you're selling the fact that numbers going down on the scale. You're selling the fact that they look better. You're selling the fact that they look great in a swimsuit on vacation. That's what you're selling. You're selling the solution and the transformation, the confidence to go out on the beach wearing a swimsuit. That's what you're selling on. And so that needs to go into your irresistible offer. The getting attention piece is important. And Fearless, your brother actually brought it up too. A lot of times getting out on social media is important. Now, what you don't want to do is get out and blast out low quality content. You want to take some time and build content that either informs, educates, or both.
Right.
But
Say that one more time.
you want to get out there and put out content that informs or educates or both. Um, and a
Okay,
lot of
hold on,
times,
hold on.
okay,
One more time, because I think the thing cut out.
okay, you want to create content that either informs
Okay,
or
hold on.
educates
Informs. Okay, educates
or both.
or both. Okay.
You want to put out high quality stuff because a lot of times the social media aspect of selling a product or marketing a product or service isn't necessarily in just showing what the product can do. That's
Mhm.
important. That is important in a lot of times, but showing the people behind that product are competent and are experts in their specific area is more important. Specifically for a service, if you show a degree of expertise on your social media and you help people without expectation, and I think people disconnect with this, you have to be able to, and that's why I love what Fearless is doing with the 100 days of coaching. Fearless is giving it away for free with the confidence knowing that some people are going to want more, and knowing that that's going to pay off. So he doesn't have to worry about it. He can give away everything he knows for everything he knows for free during that time, knowing that there's always going to be somebody that wants more. And
Amen.
a lot of times on when it comes to getting attention and posting organic content on social media, and organic means not paid for. It's stuff that you create that you're not paying to boost out there. People find it themselves. A lot of times people produce content with this expectation of some kind of transaction after the fact, and you can tell when they're doing it, and it pisses you off because they're trying to be covert about it. When I make a pitch, when I make an offer, I make an offer and I make it clear. That's what I'm doing. And I see a lot of the best businesses that do that. When they are ready to sell, they're going to explicitly ask for the sell. They're going to ask for you or tell you exactly how to get their product or service. But a lot of the best content doesn't come with that. The way we discover people on social media is they have pushed a button. Either we find them super entertaining or we find them super informative. And we want to learn more about what they know. And if they're giving it to us without expectation of us doing anything except being successful with it, that draws people in a little bit more.
Mhm. Yeah, and
You,
that's literally what I do too.
yeah,
Is that I don't have a call of action at all. There's no call. It's try this stuff out. Let's see if it works. And I tell people like, my job is to give you the tools, techniques, strategies, and even tips for, and I always say for your dreams, your goals, your aspirations, your problems. That's it. That's all it is. So if
mhm,
you're looking for a cookie cutter type of thing or something like that, if you're looking for somebody to coddle you and all that shit, like swipe left, keep it pushing.
yeah,
Like we're not that or whatever. So, and I always tell people that we are for those who are trying to do the work,
yeah,
right? And so if you want to put the work in, have a seat, sit down, let's talk.
right.
But if that's not really what you're looking at, if that's not really what you're looking for, then please keep it pushing. No, no, thank you.
And that's what it is. That's what it is. A lot of times, especially in these social media spaces, businesses are so. All right, so I'm a step a couple of steps back. We're so programmed to see the Pepsi commercial or the Budweiser commercial or whatever commercial and think that that is how you sell or market a product or service. Those commercials are awareness commercials. They're making you aware. They're putting the product in the back of your mind. So the next time you hit the gas station or grocery store, you grab a Pepsi. They're not here to say, hey, we're Pepsi and we're out here and come get a. They're saying they're trying to put it embedded in your mind that next time you're out, you're going to buy one. You already have the brand recognition. You already know what Pepsi is. They don't need to tell you what it is. You know what it is. And either you like it or you don't like it. and they're trying to inspire people that like it to go get one.
Hmm.
A lot of times, small businesses try to market themselves like big, huge companies, like everybody knows what they do or who they are, and people don't know who the hell you are.
Mhm.
And you don't spend enough time showing what your capacities are and showing the transformation that you can create for people and actually doing it for people. So when I talk about what we did with Coach Mo Athletics, the pivot we hit was, instead of selling this training online, we're just going to give it to you. We're going to give it away. We're going to tell you exactly how it goes. That's why I wrote the ebook. I wrote an ebook last week for it. We wrote an ebook that had a bunch of our drills and thinking and knowledge. It's in the book there for free. All we're asking for is an email address. We're giving it to you. We don't have expectations associated with that. We don't expect cash out of it. We're literally just handing it to you. And a lot of business owners, when they get up on social media, they work so hard on selling their product that they don't focus on solving people's problem in the video. Well, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away for free. Well, you're not giving it away for free. You're giving away for free with the expectation that you're going to help somebody, in reciprocity. When they need more help, you're going to be the first person they think of. So I got on my soapbox a little bit, but I had to, man, because the way that we sell and the way I see people in my space, the way I see some of these marketing companies sell this to small businesses, they sell big budget, big brand marketing for small businesses, and it does not work. And then they dump thousands of dollars down the drain on this stuff because they're trying to market themselves like Coke or Pepsi or McDonald's, and you aren't Coke, Pepsi, or McDonald's. You're not them. You need to show up differently. You need to humanize your brand a little bit and show that there are actual people involved. They're actually families that own the restaurant. Instead of presenting this, McDonald's style presentation, show that there's actually people that are working to craft your meals and are working to give you a great experience when you come in and give you a great meal. Go back and show the cook, maybe do videos of the cook cooking the signature dish and post that. Maybe the cook even goes on and tells people how to prepare it at home, knowing full well that they're not going to be able to prepare it as well as he is. So they're going to come to there to get it from the source.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people don't think like that in terms of business ownership, and you make it completely transactional, and then you wonder why you're struggling to get transactions. So that's what I'm saying. That's what my soapbox is. We don't spend enough time humanizing this stuff. And the unfortunate side of things is we've all been conditioned to think that everybody has to do it like Coke or Pepsi. And that's not the case. I'm putting the link for Ask Fearless in the chat.
Oh, okay. So when another thing that I was kind of thinking about too, pertaining to the Coke and Pepsi style commercials or whatever, is that they put millions into those videos. They put millions into the testing. They put millions. So again, to me, it's kind of like you said before, their stuff is mainly just a reminder of what it is that they're doing. So it's not a thing that they're trying to sell you on it. They've already sold you on it.
Yep.
You're already sold. So, okay, works. Okay, I love that. Perfect. Thank you. But they're just kind of like knocking on the door and just reminding you, hey, don't forget, in case you're thirsty, we got some stuff over here for you.
Right.
Wonderful. Thank you. Right. I've been into Coke Zero and cherry Pepsi Zero Sugar. Man, it's just like crack.
Yeah.
Sweet Moses. Absolutely. But again, I've never seen a commercial before because I don't really watch TV like that. I was just out and about. I saw it, tried it, loved it. Done. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're talking about pertaining to like brand awareness, uh, brand awareness versus I'm trying to sell this to you.
Yeah.
You should drink this. You should have Coke already has the market on the world.
Right.
The world. Think about that. The world knows about Coke.
Right. They don't have to.
So
They ain't got to
uh,
convince you. You're gonna
they
go out
gotta
here.
commit. You're gonna do it whether you do it or not. It doesn't. Excuse me. Whether you do it or not, it doesn't matter. I'm just here to remind you,
Yeah.
hey, in case you're thirsty, or if you're about to go out and go to the grocery store, grab yourself grab yourself some Coke. That's what
Yep.
we're here for.
So, and I think that's the thinking that we have to deprogram, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make marketing just about the sale. And marketing is about changing people's lives and
Mm.
connecting them with the problems, connecting them with the solutions to their problems. And that's why even nonprofits could have marketing. Like we market nonprofits because we're trying to solve people's problems. And so for me, it's the idea of connecting people who have problems to solutions. So when we
So
talk about it, yeah, go ahead.
so when we say that we're unfortunately it's the philosophy in me. So when I think about like solving people's problems, and like when you say like, I think that's kind of a, I think that's kind of a quagmire if you think about it. And the
Okay.
reason why I say that is because, so what happens when you end world hunger? Problem solved. So
Yep.
does that mean that your company goes away?
No.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, right, but see, if you solve that problem, then why are you still needed?
Well, there's different tiers of problems because in not everybody, as it stands right now, not everybody's impacted by world hunger. That's a that's a
Cool.
huge segment of the population, of the global population, but it's not the totality of the global population. So
Hmm.
by solving that problem, essentially what you're doing is you're possibly creating more. And now I'm gonna sound like an asshole for saying this, but you're actually creating more potential clients for these other products because they don't have to think about going hungry all the time. They can focus on other stuff. They can focus on other things that, because here's the thing, and I know this from doing family support work, right? A lot of times, the way the human brain is kind of configured is, if we are in a state of lack, like we're worrying about what our home situation is, or we're worried about our shelter or our food. Those problems for a lot of people, we can't see past any solutions past solving those specific problems first.
Hmm.
That makes sense. And
Hmm.
so when you're starving, the only thing you're worried about is getting food. But once you have a steady source of food, now you can start figuring out how to fix other aspects of your situation.
Hmm. So then basically, the objective isn't to solve problems or to solve that problem, it's to create other problems
Yeah.
after we solve that problem,
Yep.
right? So then technically, you're in a you're in the problem creating business as opposed to the problem solving
I'm in
business.
I'm in the problem identifying business,
Okay.
which is part of the unstuck process is figuring out what the problem is to get people moving forward.
Hmm.
Sometimes sometimes you're so caught up in an issue that you can't actually see, you don't have the ability to reframe and identify what is this thing that's actually creating the situation, what is the problem that's actually creating this.
Hmm.
And you may not be able to, because your brain is focused on surviving this thing, and you may not have the ability or the mental energy to actually pinpoint the thing that is causing your pain and exercise it.
Right.
And so sometimes you need somebody on the outside, me or Fearless, to help you reframe that aspect of your quagmire, your problem, so you could actually see what it is. You could see the problem, you could see the underlying cause, the root cause. You know,
Hmm.
you're your knee hurts because you tore a ligament in it, not just because your knee hurts. Does that make sense? And so we have to fix the knee ligament in order to address the knee pain issue. So that's how I view things. But I also see how you're saying where you find new problems to solve.
Mm-hmm.
And you're constantly in the process of finding new problems. For me, the way I view it is I'm actually diagnosing or identifying what the issue is.
Right. So,
And I don't like using diagnosis. I think pinpointing is more accurate because I don't have like the master's degree or whatever to diagnose anybody. But what I'm saying is we're figuring out exactly what the problem is and providing a solution for that problem.
now I got you. So another thing, like, so I just looked it up or whatever because I think about these things constantly. So the first thing that pops into my mind, matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about that, I'm going to hold on. I think I'm gonna do a whole training on um the problem. Hold on one second. Solving a dilemma. Ooh, I like that word, dilemma. Right. And the first few things that I have here will be basically based on, so solving one problem often creates another, right?
Right.
Which we already talked about that. The one thing that I've noticed and especially like the continent of Africa, one the problem sometimes is that if you're trying to help, that's one thing. But sometimes your help doesn't always help, and your help leads people to be dependent on you, which then creates a whole nother problem, not for you, but it does for that country or that person. Number three is that, kind of like you had just touched on, once you solve one thing, the problem is that you could be solving the wrong problem. So it may not necessarily be that, oh, there's no food here. The thing could actually be that maybe we have to bring some different type of soil to give you, and then that allows you to do your own thing. Because
Right.
what you don't want is a whole nation to be dependent on you. And what that does is that kills the personal drive to want to do better, not only for yourself, for your family, and your community as a whole, but if somebody is already doing it for you,
Yep.
that stops that stops your creativity. And that's one of the biggest things that happened in some of those countries in Africa, was literally just that, is that stop giving us all this shit. Because what it's doing is that it's making us dependent on you.
Yeah.
A lot of us, thank you for the help. Send us what you need, and then fuck off. Let us figure out the rest. A couple other things was it can lead to control issues. Mainly because, again, going back to what we talked about before, if somebody is doing this, that, or the other for you, you think and or assume that that thing that you're helping people with is just one of those, you know what I mean? Like, you think that that's cool, and it's not.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then you're actually putting control over another person, which is absolutely crazy.
Right. Well, and there's a difference between, and that's what, and I think I want to go back. That's a difference between you giving me the tools and showing me how to use them,
Yes.
and allow me to utilize the tools in the toolkit, as opposed to me being the genie in the bottle that comes and takes away all your problems.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're faced with a new set of problems, you don't have the tools or capacity to address those issues. And I think, um, and I tie it back to what I know and my experience here. I think a lot of times we constantly look for the perfect solution in the box. And so um, I tell my clients, a lot of times I can do the done for you stuff, but there's more benefit in you learning how to do this stuff. So
Mhm.
I need to show you what I'm doing too, so that you know what I'm doing, as opposed to me just coming and doing it for you. Because as a business owner, they're not buying from me, they're buying from you. You need to be present in your own marketing. And you outsource it too much. You outsource the solution far too much, as opposed to being part of the solution, if that makes sense. And so
Mm.
when it comes to, people that are starving, yeah, they may need the shovels, they may need the soil, but by you coming and building all that stuff for them, as opposed to, okay, we built this one and this is how we do it the other time, and we're going to give you money, we're going to give you the money so that you can do this thing yourself, now that we've shown you how to do it. Because that's what's happening right now. Look at it like this. I know there's kind of um I don't want to call it soft colonization. It's more like economic colonization
Exactly.
happening in like Senegal and stuff, and in different countries in Africa,
Mhm.
where what's happening is um, Chinese mega corporations are coming in, and they give, they say, okay, we're going to build this mega city, or we're going to build this thing here, right? And they build it there, and they know that the people in the country and the governments have no capacity to pay it back. So once it's built, once the country, comes and builds it for them, or uses the money to build it for them, they can come back and repossess it. Now they have all this infrastructure without having the cost of building it themselves. They outsource some of that stuff,
Mhm.
and they're buying huge tracts of land and resources and stuff because of that economic colonization that comes from the same mindset of, this person's going to come in as a genie and solve all my problems for me. So
Mhm.
I get what you're saying is, give me the tools and skills. Give me the tools and the skills to solve my own problems. Give me the guidance to do it. Be a coach and be somebody that's on the sidelines
And
telling me how to
that's
do
all
it.
I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm saying. So again, like even what you said before, what I'm saying. But here's the thing: I think there's a difference between being in the problem identifying business and the problem solving
Yeah.
business, because unfortunately, both of them have a slew of consequences that go with them. However, but I think that you're going to have more consequences with the problem solving as opposed to problem identifying, assisting, and then step back.
Yeah. And
Because I
maybe
mean,
that's my
you know,
lane.
you know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
that's my lane.
Because I think that if you hand a person some soil and some beans or whatever, bro, I'll give you what you need. I'm gonna step back, or I'll help you do this. I'm gonna step back and let you handle the rest of it. When you do for them, it's over at that
Mhm.
point.
Well, it's the same way I used to teach kids, the same way I used to teach kids in the group home. So the first couple of times, me and you will do it together. First time, I'll do it myself and you'll watch me. Second time, I'll do some of it myself and then hand it over for you to use. Third time, we're going to do it together and share equal portions. And then I'm going to step myself out of it. I'm going to step myself out of the application of it until you're doing it yourself. And a lot of times we don't teach people, we don't have the patience to go step by step in terms of assessing the problems and teaching people how to solve it. And so it turns into this thing where we do it for them and then never have any expectation that they come and do it themselves. So when I used to teach kids skills in the group home, I do it first, then we do it together, and then systematically I extract myself from that piece of it, and you do it, and I watch you do it to make sure, and then I give you the feedback on it. So that's kind of how I do it. um so I want to kind of jump back on what we were talking about here, and then we can pivot back if we need to. Yeah, but the getting the attention side of things, you don't need to present yourself as the big brand. Show up as somebody that can solve a problem or teach somebody how to do something, or give them a glimpse behind the curtain and show that you're proficient in what you do. And that's a fast way to gain people's trust. If they know you know what you're talking about, that's a little bit easier to move to the next part of the sales process. Okay. The next piece is, you want to create a sales system that you can repeat. Um, I don't think a lot of y'all know how the sales funnel works on a lot of the content that we consume on TikTok or YouTube, but it absolutely is a sales funnel. The top of the funnel is the video, and the top of the funnel is the widest part that's going to capture the widest audience. And at the top of the funnel, that's where you have people that they may or may not buy your product, but you're showing it to them anyway. And then you have some action they need to take to identify themselves as a specific client. Maybe they need to sign up for a mailing list. Maybe they need to like, share, subscribe, and follow for more information. But something they do that shows their level of engagement or interest in what you're providing. Maybe it's visiting a website. And so once they get to that website, you need to have another action for them to do. Now we're at the email address, or now we're at buying a smaller ticket item that solves a problem, and make it align with a bigger ticket item down the road. But that's what happens when you go on TikTok or YouTube. So top of the funnel, they're showing you the product or service. And bottom of the funnel, they're making the sale. And then even after that, they're trying to make repeat sales. So this is a one funnel strategy for a website, for a business, or traditional one. So you don't even need a complicated website. You just need a landing page for that. And there's plenty of landing pages services out there. So number one starts with a clear offer. You're basically telling them what they get. You're talking about what the product is, what problem it's going to solve. 2, a strong hook. Why should they care about this thing? Why do they care? And then 3 is a call to action. What do you do next? And you don't need to be covert with this. I make my call to action as simple as possible. If you want this, if you want X, you need to click the button below to get X.
Isn't that the objective though for the most of this? Again, I mean, I love how you just put that, because you said you don't need a whole entire website. You just need a landing page.
Yep.
The landing page does 3 things. What is the offer? A strong hook, right? And the CTA, which is a call to action.
Right.
That's it. All the other shit is just icing on the cake. But just give me, what is the offer, right? Like you said, the other part is why. Why should I want this? What is this gonna do for me?
So it's like this. The pitch for this water is empty bottle of water, right?
Okay, so then the clear offer would be what? What is the clear offer? The clear water.
The bottle. This is when you get this, you get an ice cold bottle of water. And why do you want an ice cold bottle of water? Well, you're thirsty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do I get this bottle of water? Well, click the button below and you can buy one for yourself.
So it's a clear description, the offer within itself, like I'm offering coaching, I'm offering this basket, I'm offering these customized cups with your name on it, and it has to be with books. Yep. Right. And so that's the clear offer is the product or service that you're selling.
Yep.
I'm just describing. So if I say, my name is Fearless Cummings and I am a life coach, this is what I do. And then my why and my what would be, I wouldn't tell you specifically. I would say, have you ever had an idea that you've wanted to do, a dream, goal, or aspiration that you've talked yourself out of? Mm-hmm. Most people would say, yes, my job is to kind of help talk you back into that shit. Mm-hmm. Call me below. Let's get it started.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. See, here's the thing. And as you notice, I will tell you what I do based on the question that I ask you.
Right.
So my sales is not to tell you or to try to sell you on what I do. My job is to get you to talk about yourself, to figure out, have you had a dream, goal, or aspiration, or maybe you have a problem that you just haven't been able to break through. Maybe there's a certain perception that or perspective that you don't have yet that consistently keeps undermining you or talking you out of it, or maybe you're gaslighting yourself. Have you been in that situation? Most of us have. Well, what I do is I talk you either back into that dream, goal, or aspiration, or I give you some tools, techniques, and strategies to deal with the problem. Done.
Yep. So
Done.
let me give you the concept you just used, and I don't know if you did it. I don't know if you know it.
I don't know. This is just what I do in general. I don't know it.
So it's a marketing thing, right? Or it's a kind of an
Is
ad
it?
writing, copywriting thing. So what you're doing essentially is getting them into agreement with you. Have you ever been caught up in an issue that you couldn't see the end? You couldn't see the forest for the trees? Well, yeah, I have. Okay. Do you have dreams that you have yet to achieve? Yeah, I do. Hmm. Are those unachieved dreams? Is it like a ferret in your brain? Do you got to achieve them? And it's your midnight dreaming is keeping you up at night? Yes, absolutely it is. Okay, so are you willing to click the button below so that we can sit down and talk? Well, yes, I am. You've just gotten them to agree. So you
Or no,
start
I am not.
well,
Because that's where some motherfuckers are.
yeah.
They say, yeah, I am. But, because they got that butt. But go
Well,
ahead.
but that's what I'm saying. In the process of that, the one thing you add in there is you do toss in an objection. Have you done this before, and did you feel like you got your value out of it? Or have you done this before and other people wasted your money? Well, yeah. So you're also answering the objections in stream. So
Okay.
the what you've done essentially is you're getting them to agree to multiple things, right? And so now when we put the CTA in and we make the CTA as simple and as painless as possible, they're more likely to say, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot." You've gotten them to agree at multiple points throughout your pitch. I'm kind of deconstructing what you just said.
So,
You're
can
getting
I
them
ask?
to agree. Huh? Go ahead.
Can I ask you just real quick? I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but or is the objections in stage two the hook, the strong hook? Is that within the? Is that the what, the what, the why, and the objectives? Is that all within the second step of this process?
The objections can come at any point. And so you have to
Except
be
for the CTA, right?
except well, no, because sometimes people are like, do I have to give you my email address? Well, how else am I going to reach you if I don't have an email address?
Hmm.
So you're answering the objection because here's what I'll
Okay,
say.
I got you. Got you.
So if you're going through your process of you've identified the client, you guys are in that phase where you're kind of talking about it and laying out what your services are. And you've already mentioned the money and you don't like talking about it, but you've already mentioned that price point. You get all the way to the end and they're like, damn, I need to ask my husband or my wife. Okay. And so now you have an objection to what your services are. And so then you can kind of step back and say, so are you certain? You reached out to me, right? So you're pretty sure that my products are going to allow you to reach your dreams or goals, right? Right. Okay. So, and I'll sit down and talk to your husband or wife if you want to bring them in. But if they tell you that you aren't allowed to reach your dreams, goals, or aspirations, are you okay with that decision?
Hmm.
Now you've kind of said, so do you need an outside party to validate the decision that you need to make? Now, if it's truly a shared, like a big expense, we got to talk to each other kind of thing, they will say that. Normally we have to talk to each other we make before we make big, huge expenditures. Okay, that's fine. Now you're in a different frame because they haven't told you no. They just kind of need to make sure that the other person's on board with them changing their life and improving their life. But the way you frame it is a kind of a death ground kind of thing. You're saying, so you're going to let this person, it's kind of it's an old weight loss thing. So if your husband says no to this weight loss program, does that mean that they're just going to let you be unhealthy even though the doctor said you need to lose weight? Are you just fine with that? And so you're kind of, because if they're coming to you for the transformation, they feel it in their bones. They're earnest about making the change in their life, right? So now they have to sell the person that they've set up as the roadblock, because more times than not, it's not really a roadblock. They're just saying it to kind of slow down the process, which is fine. You do slow it down a little bit, but they're using that person as an excuse to not do the thing. And if you really believe that this thing is going to improve their life, then you just say, so if this person says no, are you just gonna? So what happens if they just say no? Are you just gonna stop here and live
Right.
with this thing that's the ferret in your brain that you think is going to transform your life?
Hmm.
Or do I need to? Or do you want to bring them in and we could all sit down and talk about what it looks like together?
Okay. So, so hey, what's going on, Jerry? It's my buddy. Um, so can we answer? Can we go back and answer? Um, my guy, bang that up on the top
Yeah.
because he was asking that question. Can this information work for music
Yes.
or whatever? So can you explain how this could actually work for music, right quick?
So when somebody, I'll put it out there. So when somebody is, from an artistic standpoint, when somebody's buying your music or your art, right? What are they actually buying?
You?
Yeah, they're buying you. They're buying the way you make them feel.
Hmm.
They're buying the vibes that you bring.
Okay.
And so you can still sell on all that stuff, and you identify your audience by people who like those same kind of vibes. They like the same kind of music. That's one of the old that you're selling the art. If you like a specific paint or a specific paint a style, then it's not a hard sell to say, okay, so here's some other stuff. I created some stuff that's in line with the stuff that you like. I can sell and it's going to make you feel. So you're selling the feeling as opposed to the product or service. You're selling how your music makes them feel.
Gotcha.
So all the other stuff applies except the product is actually their enjoyment and their entertainment and the way that how the music makes them feel. Oh, does that make sense? So you got to sit down and think and talk to your fans and say, why do you like me? Ask your current clients, why do you mess with me? What is it about my sound that you enjoy? You go back and talk to your clients. Talk to the people that have already purchased tickets or purchased music from you and find out why they fuck with you. Like, I'm being honest. Why do they fuck with you? Why do they like you? Why do
You
they
know,
like your music?
and I love how you just said that because that's actually one of the things that I was talking to a couple people after my show was over last night. That's what they called me up and they just kind of told me, "Thank you. I love the way that you make me feel. I love the way that you break this stuff down. I love the way when we ask questions, every question is just as important as the last one.
Hmm.
Right, right. And we love the fact that you're so accessible to us or whatever every night, and you're constant with it." And I was just like, man, like, thank you so much for saying that. Like, and again, and I've also gotten, here's the thing, I've also gotten people that have said, hey, I'm not really, you need to slim down your first part because when you start talking about certain things, because I do trainings too,
Hmm.
they're like, hey, your first intro, bro, you're like 30, 40 minutes in before you even get to what we're even here for. You need to slim that up, fatten the rest of that, and then we can talk about that other stuff as we go. I'm like, okay, thank you for telling me that. Thank you so much. And so I love hearing that the good part and the other part that I need to work on
Hmm.
because I'm not perfect. I
Right.
still got 88 shows to go. 88. And uh, by June 28th, I would hope, have this down at least enough that I'm competent
Yep.
at what I'm doing. I'm already confident as you can see, but I want to be competent, not only for myself, but to help somebody else to kind of do the same exact thing.
Yep. Real quick, I do want to throw this
Please,
out here. I want to
please.
throw this in here. So for your show at night, when you put it on your YouTube, I will go back to your YouTube and create a podcast playlist for it, and then make a podcast called Ask Fearless, so that when somebody goes to your channel, they can just binge all your content and it puts it on one big playlist like a podcast.
Okay, will you show me how to do that after we're done?
I will show you how to do it. How you know?
Please. Because yeah,
Uh,
I would love to do that. Thank you. And again, even with that, trial and error means what? It means that, dude, put it out there, do the work. Now, think about it like this. Like I tell my son all the time. It's one of the teaching moments that I give my son.
mhm.
Keep your hand up and always ask for help. And I said, when when help comes, you need to have already been working. Okay? Because if somebody's coming to help you and you haven't even lifted a finger, they're going to feel like you wasted their time.
Right.
So when help comes for you, make I want you to make sure that you're already working. Period. So you wouldn't have known to tell me that information if I hadn't have been working.
Right.
If I hadn't already keep my hand up because I'm already doing the work. Now, right now, when I started, I wasn't motivated. Now I'm motivated. Why? Because I'm working, I'm moving,
Yep.
right? When you start doing anything, motivation sometimes doesn't work. You have to be, you might be inspired, okay? You might have to find that discipline to keep going or to start it. But as you get going,
Yep.
the momentum, that motivation, that momentum is to move, to be in movement. Once you get that started, oh my God, the rest of it is just so yeah, please, thank you for that.
Mhm.
Teach me how to do that. So then when we're done, I could do that at night. Please.
Okay. I will do that. Two more topics I need to touch on real quick. But
Okay, cool. Because I gotta
speaking,
get my guy to
yeah, that I know that's why I'm trying to
I
wrap it
gotta
up.
get my guy to one of his women.
So, okay, two things real quick. So, one, I just did a live stream about willpower and the entire science behind willpower. I did that yesterday on the Unstuck sessions. I'll send the link over to you for you to check out. There's some science in there. The next thing is, so we've done all the funnel stuff. You made the clear offer, had the strong hook, had the call to action, right? Now you need, once you make that sell, now you need to start following up. Okay. It says 80% of sales require 5 or more touch points. Touch points are interactions, following up, asking questions, reacting or addressing those objections that they may have. Okay. And so you want to be able to incorporate all that. Once you make that sale, once they buy whatever you're selling, this is the optimum time to do two things. One, this is the perfect time to ask for a referral for somebody else that has the same problem that they know. It also is a great time for follow-up services and adjacent services or ongoing services because they've already made the purchase. The endorphins are flowing. They're feeling good. You solved their problem. They're going to be hungry for more. And if they have the capacity to get more, you need to be able to provide them more after they made that initial purchase. Do not wait on this one because there's going to be a cooling off phase. There's going to be where they get acclimated to the decision making, their decision that they just made, and then that just becomes a normal feature of their life. And they're excited about it, but they're not as excited. So if you think there are other things that you'd provide that can help them out and improve the product that you've already given them or the service you already given them, now's the time to talk about it. So ask for your referrals at this point after they agree to the sale, and then any products that are aligned with what you're selling, you need to do it. You need to offer that. So that's one.
Oh, okay, but that's the whole upsell though, right? That's upselling on what you already have and this and the other, right?
It's kind of it's an upsell. I would say it's an upsell, but to me, it's not necessarily upsell because if I give you a service, right, and I know, well, there's other services that I offer that complement people that are using this specific service, it's kind of an upsell, but it's also making their enjoyment of this service even better. Other trainings for us, we sell the basketball training, but yeah, you're going to want movement. You're going to want speed and agility training so that you can actually execute the stuff in space. You're going to want to be able to do the moves in space. So we have speed and agility training to get your footwork up. We're working to get strength training so that you're stronger. And so these are all adjacent services that go along with the core offering. So they're going to make that thing even better.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go into, because we already had the open-ended discussion, but there are 6 marketing mistakes that keep businesses broken. I'm going to rehash some of them. Some of these are going to be kind of brand new because we didn't get a chance to go over them last week.
Okay.
Number 1, we talked about it. Every idea is a bad idea.
I love that.
Until the idea is tested. So mistake number 1 is you spend money on ads before testing the offer. This means that if you're on Facebook, if you're using Facebook, you make a post And before anybody responds to that post or anybody views that post, you instantly boost it out to your audience without seeing if they mess with that post beyond what you posted. So you don't put it, you put money behind it before you've proven that people are interested in what you posted. And people always, and Facebook wants you to do that. And other thing they want you to do is just blast it out there without defining your audience or what interest your audience.
I mean, yeah, because that's just more money for them.
Yeah.
Because all you're doing is wasting money, blasting. And you know that another industry that does that too, the car industry.
Yeah.
If you go in and buy a car, and you have shitty credit, they will blast your credit. And technically, I didn't even know that's illegal for them to do that. But they will blast your credit, blast your information to any and every bank that they possibly can.
Yeah.
Now, when you have really good credit, no, they just go to one or two banks and then that's it. And that's usually for who's going to give you the lowest APR. But go ahead.
I pissed the dealer off by walking in with my loan offer from the bank, and I had already been pre-qualified. It pissed them off. So, so the next thing is posting content without some kind of strategy. Now, I'm trial and error. So sometimes you post content until you can find the right audience and find the thing that connects with people. But once you find the thing that connects with people, that's where you build your strategy around it. So I think sometimes you do need to experiment a little bit with posting content and have a strategy and a brand voice. And the only way you do that is you see what people respond to. But once you find somebody responds to a brand voice, stick with it. Don't start changing things up all the time on them. Okay.
Got it.
Number 3, trying to sell to everybody instead of a niche. When you have a product that you can literally sell to anybody and they can buy it everywhere, you have a commodity, and commodities sell for what the cheapest price is because you can get it anywhere. If they can buy it anywhere, then why are they buying specifically from you? So if you haven't taken time to determine specifically who your services are for, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Don't try to sell to everybody. Everybody isn't your client. Some people are going to be really pleased with what they buy. A lot of people will not. And if they're not your target client, they're going to let you have it with both barrels.
He said they're going to let you have it with both barrels. Okay.
So you need to identify specifically the niche that you're going to sell to and stay in that niche. You can make a lot of money just serving the people you're happy with.
Right. Just serving the people that, right. So again, like I know this one life coach, she just talks about accountability, and obviously so do I, or whatever. But my accountability coaching is going to be totally different from hers.
Right.
Because we don't have the same type of, we might use the same wording, but our strategies are going to be different.
Right.
And I love that, because then that allows me to study what she has, incorporate that in my stuff without stealing her shit.
Right. So, and that's perfect. Here's the thing though, right? Like, look at it like this. I use a music example, right? I look at like Metallica, Bon Jovi. They ain't trying to win new fans. They're trying to sell tickets to the people that already bought their albums.
Hell yes.
They don't care about new fans. They're happy you came. They're happy you bought a ticket, you know, but they're
customer retention.
They're selling to their fan base.
Customer attention.
They ain't retention. They're not trying to get everybody else. And you need to be that kind of exclusive with your brand. Again, I say from the basketball training business, and this is something me and Mo have absolutely worked on, and me and him have had conversations about this. If somebody's not appropriate for our services, we refer them out to somebody else.
Okay.
And they could either be their client or their headache, but at least they aren't in our system. If we aren't right for them,
their client or their headache. Okay, got it.
We send it off to the competitors, and they may like the competitor better, and that's fine with us. That doesn't impact our brand at all. What impacts our brand is keeping somebody that's not aligned with our product or service in our system. That creates friction, that creates points where they're going to be unhappy no matter what we do or what we provide. It's just bad all the way around. Okay, we're almost done. Mistake number 4. The riches is in following up with people. If you're not following up with your clients and checking in with them, even if people have said, nah, it's not the right time for me, keep their name in the database, touch back with them, say, I'll check with you in a month and see if you're in the same place. You check in with them, have a genuine interest in how their life is going, and you may be able to pick up a sale or two. I've done that and it's actually worked because they were still like, yeah, I think I'm in a better place now. Maybe we can sit down and talk. But not following up is a great way to lose clients. And even if they tell you no, but it's a gentle no, not one of those hell no and they hang up on you, but if it's a gentle, hey, it's not the right time, follow up with them, check in with them. And actually, when you call, have a genuine interest in how they're doing. And if you have a genuine interest, that's going to open doors for you. Okay.
Right.
And number 5, and I see this a lot with new business owners, man, obsessing over branding instead of revenue generating actions. Listen, there's a lot of things out here designed to waste your money. And when you're building a personal brand, until people have experienced your product or service on some level, they don't care about your personal brand. So you can brand it and you could spend $50,000 on a logo and $80,000 on a website. But if they don't know who you are and they've never seen your product or service, you've just wasted that money. Now, if you have a good client base and the new website will enhance their experience, knock yourself out.
Okay.
Because you've already proven the concept and you have the disposable income to do that. But people obsess over the details of branding and trying to be word or pixel perfect with stuff. And sometimes it's just about getting the messaging out there. Obsessing over details that don't move the needle is how people end up killing momentum when it comes to marketing stuff and it comes to launching new products.
You know, if you don't mind, when it comes to that, like I obsess a lot, even with my stuff. So what I do is I give myself 3 hours. I give myself 3 to 5 hours to learn it, become congruent in it, and then to put it out. Now, 5 hours, that's, some of y'all may not think that's enough time, but trust me, that's enough time to learn what you need to learn, put it in, and then put it out. Because otherwise, I will just keep obsessing over it. And here's the cool thing, right? Once it's done, for the most part, you're not even going to worry about it anymore. If you look at my logo, I don't know, I don't have it up here. For some reason, it didn't connect. But my logo is a little guy with a question mark behind him that I found on Canva. Just an ordinary, regular little logo thing, and it's not even a logo. It was just a picture. I'm like, fuck it, I'll use this as my logo, because I was spending so much time looking for the right logo. I'm like, dude, what do you do? What do you want people to do? Ask me questions. Perfect. Pick a guy. I went in and typed up a person with question mark. That propped up. I picked the right color. Done. Yep. I left it just as simple as that. So I don't like to. What Brian is talking about, I have a huge problem with perfection. And the one thing I started to realize is that I'm making all this shit, but I ain't got no product yet. I'm making all this stuff, but I ain't shot a video yet. So I'm like, okay, focus on this, get that out. Then now I got 12, 13, 5, almost 20 videos, and they're all, for the most part, an hour or so long. So my objective was to put the product out first, and then I could tweak whatever I got going on later.
Right.
Your job is to put the shit out. Put it out. We can figure out all the other who, what, where, why, when, how, and ifs later. Just put the shit out. We'll deal with it later. Go ahead.
Put it out there and let the market decide, and let them show you what they're connecting with. Because a lot of times, and specifically, video is one of those formats where people obsess about how they look and how they present on it. Here's the bottom line, and Fearless knows what I think Fearless might know what I'm about to say. If you want to improve your video, you don't have to have all the fanciest camera and all this other stuff. Good camera's great. The best way to improve your video is by having the right lighting. Just find a good light. If you don't have lights in your house, if you don't have like professional like lights, because I got this right here, sit in front of a window where the sun's coming in. That's going to be the best light you'll ever find. And a lot of times people obsess about details and minutia and how they're going to solve for this and how they're going to do that. And they don't get into the meat of creating stuff or making shit happen. And sometimes you just got to go out and make things happen instead of trying to be perfect, because more times than not, you're not going to like your first video, and you're not going to like your second video, and you're not going to like your 18th video. But as you start building your flow and getting more used to it, you'll get more used to seeing yourself on camera, you get more used to hearing your own voice, and the other stuff kind of slides away. But if you never take that first step to flip the camera switch, hit record, and start talking to it, you're never going to get better. And so Fearless is getting the reps in right now. He is on his 100-day grind. And by the end of the 100-day grind, he is going to have a level of expertise that a lot of people who have been playing around with the concept of live streaming and the content production, he's going to reach a level of expertise that they haven't reached yet, even though they've been playing and dabbling for years, because they haven't sat down and done 100. They haven't done 100 sessions, because it's going to be hundreds of hours essentially of real life experience. A lot of times people don't want to take that first step because they're trying to optimize everything along the way, and it doesn't work like that. So
and I'm not ready at all for a lot of stuff. Even the couple people that I have signed up, I signed them up through Vimeo. I think one lady, Vimeo is where I sent my payment. She sent the payment through for that. I don't have Stripe set up. I don't have a website set up. I don't have shit set up at the point, and it doesn't matter. Just get the idea of things started. You'll figure it out as you'll figure out your process as you move along.
Right.
So that's all I wanted to do, was to stop talking, put the information out, and just work.
Yep.
Get those reps in.
And so last thing, because I've been kind of dabbling with it, I do think it sounds like there is some benefit in the record yourself. I've worked out an entire training teaching people how to record themselves. And so I got to roll that out. So you guys might see that later on this week. But if you're interested in learning how to record yourself, hit me up. And should I put my email on the screen here? I think I should go ahead and put it on there.
Why not? Yeah.
So
out there.
If you want to learn how to record yourself, I try to keep it simple, and get you the fastest way to get started. Hit me up at mail@icellwords.net. I'm putting together a training. I have it all put together. I just need to put some other things behind it. But, it's going to be a little workshop to teach people how to get started recording themselves. So if that's something you're interested in, hit me up at mail@icellwords.net, and we can sit down and talk and figure out what that looks like. But I think the bottom line is, and I know we're talking about marketing, but it applies to marketing and applies to life. Sometimes you just got to get started and not be scared of the mistakes you're going to make. The mistakes are lessons. And if you don't listen to the mistakes and you're not willing to make the mistakes, you're not willing to learn how to get better.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I got. So Fearless, I know you got to get running. I'm gonna start getting this downloaded. Hey, we appreciate y'all that have popped in on the screen. I've been trying to put your comments on the screen as we've gone on. I'm trying to make sure we didn't miss anybody. Gerald Baker, I put your stuff on the screen and I meant to shout you out. What's up, man? Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, that's my buddy Jerry. What's going on, Jerry?
So we appreciate y'all tuning in. We had a great time. I don't know what next week's episode is. We'll figure it out. When
I do.
What's up?
I just wrote it down. Hold on 1 second. Next week episode will be, hold on. We're going to talk about the importance of mission statements.
Okay.
Mission statements. So let's kind of talk about them. And I got this whole book. That's the reason why I was thinking about it. I got this book on mission statements. And I want to read some of the stuff that people have. Fuck yes. Thank you, Jerry. That's what we do on my show. When it's a good answer, bad answer, it's a fuck yes or a no. So thank you, Jerry. Thank you for keeping it alive. But yeah. So now let's talk about the importance of having a mission statement for your business and how it's going to set the tone for the rest of where your business goes.
Okay, I like that. How
Cool.
about I like here's one.
Okay,
Here's a
give it to
spin.
me.
Here's a spin. We could talk about how you could set a mission statement for your business, but you also could set a mission statement for your life.
I mean, of course, that's what we're gonna get all
Yeah,
into.
because
Yeah.
my mission statement for this year is clarity is a gift.
Okay.
And I've been saying that, and that's kind of where my mind is. I'd rather be transparent and have clarity on something than be ambiguous about it. So clarity is a gift.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
I
for
like
sure.
that. So
I mean, no, and that's what I did in my own life in general. Was again, I sat down and wrote out like I talked about last night on my podcast. I mean, I sat down and wrote out the type of man I wanted to become, and then I became him. I'm still not done yet, but I started it out.
Yep.
So yeah, we could do that for sure.
So we appreciate
yeah.
We appreciate y'all tuning in. We're gonna get to getting here. Trial and error. Come check us out next week. We're gonna talk about the importance of mission statements. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the exit, and we'll talk to y'all later. Be easy. Have a great week.
See you later.